Hey everyone, it's Brittany. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a makeup tutorial and I feel like I haven't filmed one in so long, so I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I wanted to do an all drugstore, of course all cruelty free makeup tutorial that is perfect for just every day. I also wanted to do something that is really good for like the end of summer, transitioning into fall, so I was kind of inspired by like an apple. I wanted it to be kind of rosy and red and just really perfect for like the end of summer going into fall. So I hope you like this look. If you are not already subscribed to my channel, make sure you do that before you go. I upload every single week. If you like beauty and lifestyle and fashion videos and hauls, then I think that you will enjoy being here. I will have a pretty big makeup haul coming up later this week or next week, and it will have a giveaway in it. So make sure you are subscribed and stay tuned for that. Anyways, if you are interested in how I got this very natural looking drugstore makeup look, then just keep watching. I'm going to start out with concealer as usual. Today I'm using the Catrice Liquid Camouflage High Coverage Concealer. I really like this one. I'm just gonna apply this underneath my eye area and then anywhere on my face where I kind of want to brighten up any redness, and I'm not going to use it to conceal any blemishes. I'm kind of just going to let them be for now. I will cover everything with a foundation, but I don't mind if you can kind of see some imperfections, especially on an everyday basis. So this is just gonna go basically underneath my eyes and to highlight any area of my face. I always like my skin to look really dewy or radiant, especially for every day. It just looks so much more fresh. I wanted to choose something that could be sheared out if you want to, or layered for a heavier coverage. So I'm using the NYX Total Control Drop Foundation. You can mix this in with serums or primers, moisturizers, and get more of like a dewy kind of like BB cream effect, which is actually what I'm going to do today. So I just bought this from Milani. It's the Prime Light Face Primer. It's strobing and pore minimizing and oil free. I've already tested this out and it's basically an exact dupe for MAC's strobe cream. So if you're looking for a really affordable dupe for that is of course cruelty free, then check this one out. It actually is really, really nice. And if you are wondering, I'm using a blending sponge from Real Techniques. For my everyday makeup, I don't usually like to powder too much, so when I do, I keep it quite minimal, and I'll pretty much only powder in like the very center T-zone area of my face. And to do that, I'm using the Milani face powder in the shade Light Medium. Whenever I apply the bronzer and blush, it kind of acts as like the setting powder in itself, so I don't like to go too overboard, so I'm just going to apply a little bit of powder to the center T-zone area of my face. I did want to try out this new brow pencil from Wet n Wild. It has a spoolie on one end, which I always love, and the other side is like a kind of triangle shape. I got mine in the shade Ash Brown. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fill in my eyebrows using this. For everyday makeup, I don't like to fill in too much of my brows, so I focus most of it just on the outer edges so that the inner part of my eyebrows looks really light and fluffy. I think that brow pencil worked way better than I was even expecting, so I really like that. And if you've been watching my videos for a long time, you will be extremely familiar with this next product. This is from Essence. It's the Lash and Brow Gel. It's just a brow setting gel that is clear, and it's like my holy grail product of all time. I've repurchased this like 100 times probably, and I'm constantly getting backups just so that I make sure I don't run out. So I always just set my brows in place using the Essence Lash and Brow Gel. Wet n Wild makes some really great affordable eyeshadow palettes. Most of you guys, if you've been watching YouTube for a long time, probably know about the Comfort Zone palette. It's like an OG of YouTube, but they have new color selections, and one of my favorites is called Rosé in the Air. It's the same formula as like the older ones, but it's just a new packaging. So I still really like these. I'm going to use some of these shades, but I'm going to keep it really simple for an everyday look. I will use the lightest shade in the palette first. This is going to go all over my lid and a little bit into my crease and brow bone so that it's easier to blend the other colors that I will be using. And taking the color labeled Transition, I'm going to use this in my crease and really buff it out. I'm using the same Transition shade, and this is going to go all along my bottom lash line as well, but not going into the inner corner area. Like I said, I want to make the eyeshadow just slightly rosier. I don't want to go overboard because this is just like an easy everyday look. So I'm going in with this shade right here. It's kind of like a brick brick tone. I want to keep it more in the like red tone, so I'm going to very lightly apply this slightly onto the outer corner and a little bit into the crease. I think I want to add a tiny bit of shimmer to the lid, so I'm using the shade right across from that brick tone that I used. I'm going to use it on my finger so that I get enough of the pigment on, and I just want to do this right in the center of my lid very lightly to make my eyes pop a little bit more so it's not just red eyeshadow on the lids. And I think that's it for the eyeshadow, so I'm going to apply mascara. I had recently bought a new mascara from the drugstore, but I just opened it up and realized that it had already been used, and I just don't really feel comfortable continuing with that, so I will probably try to return it. And in the meantime, I'm just going to use my Jordana Best Lash Extreme Volumizing Mascara because it is one of my favorites ever from the drugstore. Sometimes I don't apply any mascara to my bottom lashes at all because I just like that look. It makes you look a lot more awake. But I think for this video, I'm going to apply a tiny bit to my bottom lashes, but mostly just on the outer corners of my lash line. I definitely need to bronze up my face. I did self-tanner, so like my body is way darker than my face right now. So I'm going to use the bronzer from Essence. It's the Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder. This one is in the shade 01 Natural. I think it's the lighter one. They have another one that's slightly darker, but this one looks really good on fair skin tones like myself. I will put this over most of my face, but I will leave kind of the center of my face alone except for a little bit on my nose because I like that look. I just kind of want to even out my skin so that it looks a little bit darker and matches my body more. For blush, I'm using the NYX Sweet Cheeks blush palette. I mentioned this one in my drugstore makeup bag essentials. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. I will leave it listed above me on the screen and in the description box below this video if you guys want to check that out as well. But I will be using this shade right here. I don't think they have names at all, so it's just this one. I want this one because it's more of a like neutral rosy tone, which is exactly what I'm going for this look. So I'm just going to put it on with a really fluffy brush. Also, if you see me using these brushes, they are from SL Miss Glam. I think they are so pretty. I'm definitely focusing this blush a little bit more so on the very apples of my cheeks and kind of bringing the color along the side of my nose. It looks a little bit more sun-kissed. I originally wasn't sure if I wanted to wear a highlighter for this, but even when I'm wearing like the most minimal makeup, I always have highlighter on. So I'm just gonna go with my trusty highlighter from Essence. It's the Pure Nude highlighter. They do have other shades now. This one is in 10B My Highlight. It is so beautiful. It's flattering on like almost every single skin tone, so I always love using this. So I'm just gonna apply a tiny bit to the like very tops of my cheekbones. Now moving on to lips. I have been really into lip gloss lately, so I'm gonna do something really simple. One of my favorite things to do, especially for a really natural look, is to use a lip liner to fill in your lips and kind of smudge it out a little bit with your finger so it's not super opaque and kind of has more like a natural flush color, and then using a really pretty lip gloss on top. So that is exactly what I'm gonna do today. I have the NYX lip pencil in the shade Nude Pink. It's one of my favorite lip pencils. NYX has some really great shades, so if you're looking for some natural looking lip liners, then definitely check out NYX. So I'm just going to basically fill in my lips. I'm not going to be too worried with getting them precisely lined, just more so giving a little bit of a flush of color. And actually that's a little bit too pink, so I'm using the shade Natural, also from NYX, and I'm just going to kind of go over it a little bit because I want it to be slightly darker. You could totally leave it just like this if you wanted to, but I do really like the look of gloss lately, so I will be adding a little bit of this one from Essence. It's the XXXL Shine Lip Gloss. I have mine in the shade Nude Pink, but it does come out like very sheer. But I really like this one because it has little specks of like glitter or shimmer in it. I'm putting just a tiny bit of this on my lips. I don't want it to be overly glossy, just have a little bit of like a dew to it and have that kind of shimmer on top as well. I think it looks really pretty. So that is everything for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and also make sure you are subscribed to my channel if you haven't done that yet. Let me know in the comments if there are any types of videos that you guys want to see, especially for fall coming up. I love doing fall videos. It's like my favorite time of the year. So if you have any suggestions, make sure to leave them in the comment section below. And other than that, I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Thank you so much for supporting me and watching this video, and I will see you guys in my next one.